Good morning. Another beautiful day out here at Goat Hill. We're getting ready to hit the hill for race 8. That leaves only one more regular points event and then the final season finale. Everybody better get their points down. We have just excavated a quarry out that we're going to use for our Coliseum award ceremonies and just generally a really cool place to hang out and party. So here's how the points are stacking up. Mayhem Michelle is in first place, as is VB Chief, both tied with 16. Mr. Mice, Clutch Vandershift, and then we come into Cactus Jack, Wolfgang, Drivers 9747, Stallion Johnson, Clutch again, Mud Duck, the Viking, Midnight Smiler Racing, and Ragin' Ricky, along with Turbos AG. Rounds out the first top of the pack. You can see some shots of the quarry. We've got the concession car going. Our VIPs are all loaded up. Let's go racing. Next up is going to be our tied for first place, Mayhem Michelle, taking on Mr. Mice, who is sitting in third place right now. Mayhem's in the black Toyota. Michelle runs a solid line up the hill, but Mr. Mice cannot hold it. That's going to be costly. Mayhem bounces that truck on in for a total of 7 points, and Mr. Mice manages to pull 7 out of that too, even though he didn't get the extra point for rolling down. Next up, we've got our other tied for first place, VB Chief, with the best team there is. He will be taking on that red buggy of Dutch Clutches, which seems to be pretty solid on his runs. Well, Dutch comes out of the hole, and he just kind of takes out VB Chief, it looks like. Dutch got his eyes on that first place. Yup, they come up the hill, and Dutch gives him a little bit of a nudge. VB's fixing to land a flip, and Dutch blocks him on that side, too. That'll give Dutch 7 points, and VB 5. So we've got Wolfgang Mueller dragging his buggy up the hill in the Jeep, taking on Alva Speedco. Cactus Jack's been doing pretty well. Let's see if anybody can make it up the hill. Well, there you go. Cactus Jack showing you how to drive right up like it's a Sunday drive. And Wolfgang wheel standing that thing all the way up the hill. Oh, Wolfie gets a little bit of hang time and a wheelie on top of that. But Cactus Jack just makes it look easy. That'll give Cactus Jack a solid 7 points. And Wolfgang 4. Pair of blue Dodges gonna hit the hill. We've got Conman Customs and Drivers Deviants. They both start out good, and over and crazy they went. Looks like they both managed to hold on to their points, though, except one was just on their roof. They both had good lines, but they just couldn't hang on to it. Puts driver 9747 on the board for 4 points, and Stallion Johnson with 6. So our next heat is Mud Duck Hog Control and Sausage versus Dutch Clutch's Dragster. That Dragster is squirrely, although a lot of the narrow, long wheelbase ones all seem to be a bit squirrely. Let's see what they do. Oh, now this race, it's Dutch Clutch doing the donuts at the bottom. Cookie would be proud. And Curtis can't hold it on the hill. Oh, you can see Dutch just barely taps the wall and goes around. And that's what does him in. Curdy makes a solid line up the top, and if he could have held it there, that would have been a nice score. As it is, Clutch managed to put 4 points on the board, and Curdy had a pretty good round for 6. If he could have held it there, that would have been a nice 8-pointer. Well, we have Midnight Smiler of Midnight Smiler Racing, and he will be taking on the Viking, holder of the Horns Racing Team. Smiler on the outside seems to hold a good straight line coming out of the gate. But, well, guess it wasn't his day to make it to the top. And Holder consistent at on his roof yet again. So the score for that run is Holder pulled off a 5-point run, as did Midnight Smiler. Team Turbo, with the lightest buggy in the whole thing, takes on Ragin' Ricky in that beautiful polished pickup truck. Looks like AG gets into Ricky and messes up his run, but Ricky at least manages to stick it on the hill and hold all the extra points he could manage. So I'm wondering, does AG just not like raccoons? It looks like he just goes right after him right off the bat. And Ricky gets that nose stuck on the edge there, and that's just unforgivable. Raging Ricky managed to put down a solid 6 on that. AG, unfortunately, only 3. That's rough. Well, next up we have the infamous King Jester from the Isle of Rhodes. And Minnie driving the Up North Cracker Jack Special. Well, 2 more on the roof, but at least they're up the hill pretty far. Jester flops it early, but Minnie gets some hang time out of that thing. She's driving that thing for all it's worth, but it is a Ford, so, well. So Jester puts down a pretty good 5 points, and Minnie puts down 6. We've got Logan up next versus Farty, Marty, and the Failure Squad car. Marty's is another one of those narrow, long wheelbase cars that just seems to struggle. solid pulls from both of them. Marty can't hang on to it, but Logan manages to and also keeps the wheels on the ground. Good job, guys. Logan manages to rumble up the whole thing nice and uneventful for a 7-point run, and Farty Marty gets a 5 out of that. And that 5 is going to help him a bunch with the way some people have been scoring. So now we've got Porch Honky racing with Cletus driving. And we've also got the Crazy Raccoons back again from Oregon, Outcast Diecast, Ragin' Ricky in the green buggy. Porch Honky definitely getting the hang of coming up this hill a little better than he did the first half of the season. Drives it up there and just parks it. And another rail buggy slides down the hill. And off both banks, too. Anyways, that's going to put us with 5 points on Ragin' Ricky's green machine. And Cletus for a nice solid 7 out of that. We have Zuck driving Jeepinstein. That thing has struggled up the hill the whole season. And Brother Joe, he's driving Rusty Gold Men Special. That thing's made it up the hill, was the only one to back it up 2 races in a row, I believe. Maybe even 3 times he's been up there. I'd have to check the records. Oh, they get their lines crossed up a little bit. And nice pirouette, though. Yup, Zuck stands that thing right on its nose pretty nicely for a solid 3 points. And Brother Joe for 5. Zuck, I think we're going to have to get you into another ride for next season. Dodge truck driven by Crazy Frank versus Harry Hoon, the crazy guy from down under, with his boxing kangaroo for protection. Well, Harry comes out of there and tries to hog the inside of it, and I think Crazy Frank was doing about the same thing, and it just did not end well for either of them. Crazy Frank had a great line coming out of there until he gets tagged. So that'll give Harry and the boxing kangaroo 4 points, and Crazy Frank from Retail Racing 5 points. And now we have Duxie and the Mad Brit King, both driving some of the most unbelievably bad performing castings that are both consistently bad. Both run nice square lines up it, but they can't hold it. But at least they stay on their wheels for an extra point there, so. Duxie making that thing fly. Well, I guess what do you expect if you're a duck, right? He quacks me up anyways. So that puts the Mad Brit King in for 5 points. And Duxie for 5 also. Honestly, probably the best runs they've had all this whole time. So, representing junkyard joust is Baby Cookie driving the... Well, I promised I wouldn't see the baby buggy, but that's basically what it is. So, and then we've got Jay Raldus. And Baby Cookie out there spinning around and goofing off. This is another one of those that's a bit light in the nose. I think that's really rough on him, trying to stay straight going up the hill. And of course, another Cherokee on its side or roof. Poor recovery capabilities, that's for sure. Whoa, look at that jump that Shining Meteor does. That was nice. Too bad you couldn't hold it. Kind of looked like he was sliding into second base or something. I don't know. This is racing, not baseball, dude. And let's not forget our safety team that we have out here to make sure everybody gets back home and on their wheels safely, our records. Well, when we tally up the points, Mayhem Michelle is still on top. Mr. Mice is up there. Clutch Vandershift in the red buggy. BB Chief dropped to fourth from his tie at first place. Cactus Jack is with 20 points. Cactus Jack with Alva Speedco is the only one that made it into the top of the hill for a solid 7. So now a special event. Just a polar bear in a tank pulling a camper trailer. Thanks for watching.